Command and Conquer had a rough, scorned history over the last decade, but its latest offering gives me hope for the franchise's future. I am a huge Command and Conquer fan. My first foray into the franchise was with the irreverent Command and Conquer collection that came out just after Tiberian Sun was released. I was always a Red Alert guy, though. Here's a little thing. I never actually played the original Command and Conquer until the remaster came out. I loved Red Alert 2, but Red Alert 3 was amazing. And I know this is a hugely controversial opinion, especially with the rabid Command and Conquer fan base, but Generals is my favorite game by far. So when the remaster came out, I wasn't sure what I was expecting. This is the first non-MMO game I've actually pre-ordered since Shenmue 3 on Kickstarter. However, I couldn't believe how blown away I was that the experience I received playing the remaster was nearly identical to the experience that I had when I first played Red Alert for the very first time. EA had tried to re-release Red Alert and a lot of the other Command & Conquer games a few times. Don't get me started about the first decade. That thing was just a piece of shit. I mean, it gave you all the games, but it was just no online play. Like, what's the point of playing Red Alert if you're not going to play online? The Command & Conquer remaster, however, is everything a remaster or remake should aspire to be. It's the exact same game that I remember with a beautiful, bright, shiny coat of paint on it. They give you the option to play with the same old school, like, digitized graphics. You can either play with the remakes graphics or the old school. So if you really want that experience with all the old school style feel and play, you can have that. But you can play it now on today's PCs and not have to worry about stupid compatibility modes or anything like that. It's just flawless. I couldn't believe it. The enhanced online features, the map editor is back, and the renewed soundtrack, guys. If you've never played a Command and Conquer game before, you owe it to yourself to listen to Hell March. It is probably the greatest piece of music any PC game has ever released. I know that's going pretty far, especially with today's games coming out with composers and stuff, but Hell March can't beat it. If that doesn't inspire you to kick ass, I don't know what will. However, earlier this year, on the other end of the spectrum, I actually consider myself a much bigger Blizzard and Warcraft fan. I actually put so many hours into Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3 that I was put on academic probation in college. I wasn't as excited when the Warcraft 3 Reforged announcement was made because honestly, I had played Warcraft 3 so much in college and afterwards that I felt like I had gotten everything I needed to out of that experience. I could still pick it up today and play it and not worry about the graphics being, so terrible or, the cutscenes being cheesy. That's just how it was, and I enjoyed the experience that way, and I think it was perfectly fine. And I kind of felt like I'd done it all in that game. Like, there was no need for me to come back despite renewed graphics or cinematics. I hardly want to watch the movie. I'm sure someone on YouTube would upload the complete story and cinematics. I was waiting to see if any of my friends had bought it, maybe listen to a few reviews first. That would hit me that spark that would reignite maybe my passion to play Warcraft 3 again. And, a couple of my friends of mine might have told me how great it was. But I decided to skip it. Not even the Mountain WoW could entice me to keep it. Best decision ever. Warcraft 3 Reforged was a fucking mess, alright? And it was one I am thankful that I avoided. People were upset, and rightly so. The renewed cinematics that were revealed at BlizzCon and trailers were gone, and some slightly faceless versions of the old one. Blizzard had mentioned that they wanted to keep the original feel and tone and charm of the original game intact, but don't bullshit us, Blizzard. I mean, the best speculation we have at this point is that Blizzard needed to release something before the quarter 1 financials came out, and Reforged was the only game that was even close to completion at that time. The game is continued to be marred with controversy, putting disclaimers that players can't keep anything they make. I mean, if you guys have heard of Dota before, that was actually created on the original Warcraft 3 map editor, and I'm sure they're biting themselves in the ass for all the money they missed out on that one. So I get it. They're trying to protect themselves and make it so that another Dota doesn't actually happen. But come on, guys, this is your fans you're dealing with. They love you. They want to do everything they can to appease you, and for lack of a better term, get daddy to look our way and say, oh, that's pretty cool, because that's what people love about Blizzard, the way it interacted with their community. And over the last few years, it's fucking awful. And Warcraft 3 Reforged is no fucking exception to this rule. I mean, they really hammered down on people, with reviews, blocking people. They were blocking refunds of the game. And it saddens me, because the Blizzard that I remember was such an amazing, incredible company versus EA, who I known over the last decade or so to be a bunch of dicks and monsters and not really think about their fan base in a caring way, at least like Blizzard did. But the tables seem to have turned. And I expected much more from Blizzard, and I really, really did, because this should have been fucking easy. It should have been. And the Command and Conquer remaster proves it, because they took the original games, everything that I loved and adored, that I played back when I was in high school, and they just threw it back at me. There you go, enjoy. And I could play it on today's PCs. No worry about messing with any kind of log, no downloading gen tools and tweaking anything here and there. Today's game, yesterday's game, today, and it was beautiful. EA has a long history of fucking shit up, especially in the Command & Conquer franchise. But the Command & Conquer remaster hits it out of the fucking park. It captures everything that was beautiful about the originals and puts it in a package that fans of new and old can easily resonate with it. And I know, going back to it and playing it, putting about 10-15 hours into it already, it's exactly the same game, but it's definitely shows the age of RTSs at the time. I mean, building's a little bit slower, and I'm comparing this to Generals, my favorite game, but it's definitely the red alert that you know and love. There's nothing to fear about this remaster. EA did a fantastic job, and they succeeded where Blizzard failed. I mean, what the hell was up with that? How many people expected this? Of all the things that could have happened in 2020, EA defeats Blizzard. It's something that should have been a fucking cakewalk for them. I heard after this, EA and the new Command & Conquer team had mentioned that this was just the first of ways to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the franchise. And we may be able to expect more out of them, so I'm very, very excited. EA is, they're making it so that fans can trust them again, which is I'm shocked. I'm almost at a loss for words how well EA performed in this regards and gave us a product that is so incredible that I fail to realize. I'm almost shocked to say that it's EA that delivered this product, because you'd never expect that, not in 2020. Meanwhile, Blizzard continues to hemorrhage goodwill in the fan base that made them by releasing stupid bullshit like this that goes tries to placate to the fans' nostalgia and sells them a plate full of shit. What the? I'm so glad I didn't pay money for it. I'd be much more upset, but I feel bad for the people who were hugely into Warcraft 3 and were diving into this blindly, thinking that it's Blizzard. They wouldn't release something shitty, right? Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm really looking forward to the next Command and Conquer remake, and I can't wait to pre-order it. Like you got it, EA. You got my money. You've proven yourselves worthy. So Warcraft, you guys have got a lot of catching up to do. It's sad. I hope you guys can pull a No Man's Sky and turn this thing around. But the next game Blizzard and you guys release, maybe I'll wait a week or two and see how the reviews are before I dip my foot in the water.